What is going on, everybody? Welcome back into another video on MVP Sports. My name is Jake Neverman, and I'm here with my co-host, Soapy Muffin.
Hey.
Soapy, this is our last draft grade video together. It's been, it might seem like a couple days on these videos, but it's been a quick recording session. I think we're doing good, and we're going to end it with a team that we both love. But before we get into that, down below, hit the subscribe button, like the video if you like the content. Also, leave a comment if you agree or disagree. I see a lot of disagreeing comments. I like to be known when my takes are actually agreeable. Very on the rare occasion. So leave those comments also below. But in this video, we are talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I think most of what's going to be said in this video is going to be positive for me and Soapy, or Soapy and I. Sorry, grammar, not my strong suit. With their first pick, they took Josh Giddy, the guard from Australia. Their second pick, they took Trey Mann, the guard out of Florida. Third pick, Jeremiah Robinson-Earl, the forward out of Villanova. I heard somebody in our Discord say he's a center. Definitely not a center. Definitely a forward. And then with their last pick, they took Aaron Wiggins. Are we going to call him Maple Jordan also? Because his last name's Wiggins. Guard out of Maryland. I guess I start on this one, Soapy, because they did take Josh Giddy
Oh
at
yeah.
6. Let me just say that shout out Dave. One of we obviously did our big boards together. I had Josh Giddy at 6. He had him at about 20 something. Josh Giddy did go 6. Scotty Barnes also had 4 on my big board. He went 4. Just saying. But Josh Giddy going 6. I mean, him and SGA together is going to be so much fun. I know a lot of people are kind of worrying about Josh Giddey's handle and his limited moveset. His handles are fine, genuinely. His moveset will have to grow, and that was one thing we knew coming into the draft. But playing next to a guy like SGA, he's not going to have to be a giant playmaker. Most likely, he's going to be the secondary playmaker on the team. Josh Giddey, his shot, another worry, I think is fine. I think he just needs to speed up his mechanics. Nothing's broken. Obviously, Dave and I had this debate that shots can't be improved. I vehemently disagree with that. I believe that people's shot can improve and rapidly for that case. I just think Josh Giddey with his playmaking ability, hopefully he can just top out as an average defender, because obviously with SGA next to him, I saw this discourse going on Twitter one day that people were saying that SGA actually isn't a good defender. I could not disagree with the statement more. SGA, I believe, has elite top end. He's not there yet defensively. And then Josh Giddey just has to be a serviceable defender next to him. I just think Giddy was such a good pick, and I can now see why the Grizzlies were trying to trade up again from number 10 to get to number 6 now, obviously, since they wanted Giddy. What are your thoughts on that, on their first pick?
Yeah. So personally for me, I'm not super high on Giddy. I still believe in him. I still think he could be a really good talent, obviously. But I think pairing him next to SGA, that's the perfect spot for of the fact if he's stepping into a team that like you said, he's not going to be the primary ball handler. It's SGA. The ball is going to be in his hand 90% of the time. But it's the fact of now, you can slowly bring Giddy along. The fact that I think Giddy is a player who can be a floor raiser. I think his natural playmaking ability and the abilities he has to move the ball around the court when the ball is in his hands is going to help everyone on this team. I think we see a lot of off-ball movement sets with SGA of where we're going to see SGA in a role that we haven't seen him in a while, or ever since he was paired with Chris Paul, of where with Chris Paul, SGA played off-ball, and we saw he thrived.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what a shocker. A good player can be really good off ball if he's allowed to be off ball.
Yeah.
What a shocker.
Yeah.
I think. Oh,
no, you're good. Go. Keep going.
I think it's just I think with Giddy, this allows them to basically slowly bring him into the fold of we already kind of, I don't want to say know what he is because I don't want to write Giddy off already. But we know his skill set he instantly has, and it's just going to get better. And I think the fact of the part that's going to go under the radar is the fact that his playmaking is going to help their Project Poku. The fact that now Poku has multiple playmakers who can throw to him. The fact that we saw Poku was actually kind of good at times this year is something that Thunder fans should really look forward to, seeing Giddy to Poku.
Yeah, I think all those are fair points. And another thing I'm very excited to see is that Josh Giddey, I think he plays well while they're playing in an open court in transition. And that's what the Thunder can do, is they can run with how many young, super athletic guys they have, like Darius Bazley. Obviously, we've pointed to SGA multiple times. And then even getting guys, we'll go to their next couple picks, Trey Mann, Jeremiah Robinson-Earl, and Aaron Wiggins, obviously. Trey Mann is going to be very interesting because On the outside chance that they decide to play Trey Mann with SGA and then have Giddy come off the bench, which I don't think is the route they go. I think Giddy starts, but Trey Mann and SGA also, I believe, work well together because I guess I'll ask you this because Trey Mann, I think, profiles out as a off-ball guard and not an offensive initiator slash point guard. Are you in the similar camp there, or do you believe that Trey Mann can be a point guard?
I think he does transition into an off guard. I think you can run him as a point guard in a limited time,
Yeah.
but not as like the main facilitator on the court at that point in time. Because I think what we probably see next year is off their bench unit, we see backcourts of and Man and see if that works out for him. Obviously, who knows what they believe in Maladon? Like, for instance, I really like him. I think Maladon can be a point guard.
Yeah.
So this will be to see basically, does Man thrive at the two guard position in the NBA, or is he going to be a guy who has to play the one? I think that's kind of what we find out this year.
Yeah, I think those are all fair points. And then with the Jeremiah Robinson-Earl pick, I love Jeremiah Robinson-Earl. I had him rated as a first-round prospect for the majority of the draft process. I know that he struggled from deep to find some consistency from three. On my end, I still believe that he can be not a knockdown three-point shooter walking into the league, but his mechanics are there. Put the ball on the court, on the floor a little bit. Not very much playmaking, but defensively, and if he can improve his three-point shot, just consistency. His mechanics are fine. I believe there's some upside there, and we know from past drafts that Villanova players transfer well into the NBA. Do you have any thoughts on the Aaron Wiggins, Jeremiah Robinson-Earl tandem with their last two picks?
Mostly just with Jeremiah Robinson-Earl, of the fact of like I think he is one of the most versatile players in this draft. Over obviously, the person that kept bringing up that they were a center, that was the person that Spider was talking to in a different Discord that was saying he could be a center. I don't think so.
No.
But like for instance, I think he's basically the person that they're like, all right, let's at least take a safe pick in total, because obviously like there is a chance. I want to speak into existence. There's a chance that Man or Giddy don't work out, or even Wiggins don't work. Obviously, if you miss on Wiggins, whatever, second round pick, people miss on second round picks a lot. But I think it's at least getting the safe guy off the board that can kind of basically do everything on the court. Obviously, he can make passes, not super reliably, not the greatest of playmakers. His court vision is solid. It's not great. And with the fact of, with shooting, I'm on the side of like you can improve that, and I think it's a situation of where with him, it's gonna basically just be getting that confidence to take that shot every time. Like you said, I don't think he ever becomes a knockdown. I think he becomes reliable.
Yeah,
I think he may shoot just under league average for his career, is what I'm gonna guess. Like not like super far underneath, not like 6% less or something, but more like 1 or 2% less.
That's fair. Aaron Wiggins, any thoughts on that pick overall? We really hadn't discussed him much during the whole draft process. I was kind of surprised to see his name taken in the second round. Did you have any? I mean, do you see really any upside in that pick?
I mean, I think there's some upside. Like, I think Wiggins could be a really good scorer. To me personally, I probably would have taken someone else here. Like, for instance, Aaron Henry was still on the board. Like, if you wanted to basically add an extra defender into it, you could basically just have it to where, like, okay, cool, you have Lou Dort in the starting lineup. Obviously, I'm not saying they're comparable defenders. Day one, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they could be similar defenders. But, like, the fact that at some point, if you wanted to just be the most obnoxious team in the fucking NBA, you could literally run a lineup with SGA, Dort, and Henry in the same lineup. Be like, all right, have fun. Have fun scoring more than, like, 20 points.
I was going to say, you mean like when the Sixers throw out Ben Simmons, Matisse Thybulle, and Aaron Henry next year?
Yeah,
just
basically
with Embiid at the Rams. Yeah, with Embiid, with like you have like 4 top 20 defenders in the NBA just right there. But Soapy, let's wrap up the video with our draft grades. I believe you went first last time, so I'll go first this time. It's an A+ for me. Any team that was going to take Giddy was going to get a straight A+ for me, and there's no way around it. I show absolutely no bias here with the prospects that I love. Obviously, even with them then taking Trey Mann and Jeremiah Robinson-Earl, 2 guys I liked during the draft process, I'll give them an A+. It'll probably be one of my 2 A+s out of all the draft grades I'll be doing. What do you think the whole draft in total, Soapy?
Yeah, I also have to join in with the A+ as well. I think just all their picks on top of each other, obviously the only one I have a slight question with was Wiggins, but once again, it's like if Wiggins doesn't work out, whatever. Like you basically got three incredibly good talents in this draft. Four, if you want to count Wiggins as an incredibly good talent in the future. Of where basically it's like, okay, cool. You hit on every single pick. Like they took, like we all kind of thought going into this draft that like the Thunder were going to take just a bunch of high upside, like risky guys, and then it turns out they took like one,
They took
and then
one.
the rest were like, all right, yeah, like Giddy is like the somewhat risk, maybe.
Yeah.
And I'm
No,
not
he
even
is a
saying
risk.
that. Like,
No, he is a risk. Yeah. No, I agree.
yeah, so basically they took two super solid, one risk, and one that like if you miss, type of player, and like yeah, that's a surprising turn for them. And I think they hit on almost every single one of these.
Yeah, I fully agree. If you liked what you saw, check out our channel membership and our Patreon down below. You can get videos, certain videos, a week earlier than they are posted on YouTube. And again, if you want to become a member of our Discord server, the link will also be down in the description. Again, you can argue with us on our points or tell us how great we are. We do, again, we don't get told how great we are enough. So if you want to tell us more, we'd very much appreciate it. This will be Soapy and I's last draft grade together, but check out again down below on the channel all of the draft grades for all of the teams, and we will see you in the next one.